Okay, it looks like we're up and running and ready to go. That was the easiest I think I've ever had Facebook come up. So this is the final project for this kit, and we're just going to run through it real quickly, and we'll see how it goes. So this is the frame. I did purchase this frame at Michael's. It's a 12 by 12 shadow box frame. They have them right now at 2 for $14. Mine is black. I know they have black and they have white, but I don't know if they have black in stock. I just know they have the white in stock normally all the time. But I think they carry them both all the time. Mine is now at the point that I've taken it in and out so many times that these little things are starting to break off. That one is just hanging there. So it has been well used, but I do know that they have them on sale for 2 for $14.99. They come in a 2-pack. Okay, so let me put this down here where I can still see it. And yet it's not in the way, maybe. Okay. So I remember what it looks like. Okay, so you should have 6 little packets of different things. These are the flowers, the poinsettias, and my recommendation is that you put those together first. Just go through and put them all together. You'll know how to do that. You've done it on the cards. If you haven't done it in the cards, go back and watch the video for any one of the cards. It's on every one of it. It explains how to put the flowers together. So I have already done my flowers. They're all put together and ready to go. So let's start with placement. And the placement of this on your brick wall paper on here. So you're going to come in 1 inch and just, actually let's move the brick wall away for now. And I'm just going to come in 1 inch this way and 1 inch from here. And then I'm going to also mark that at the top. So this is a 12 by 12 piece of paper, so just mark it at 1 and 11. And then I'm going to come down 1 inch. And so I'm going to do the same thing on here. And if I was really an amazing person on this, I would have this right down to where, first of all, I can see my marks. That's not an inch. Okay, it's there. It's such a light mark. And that one is there. So this is going to be where my paper's going to go. I'm going to put a little X right there. And then I'm going to come over this way and I'm going to do the same thing. Find my 2 little dots that brought me in 1 inch from, and it's going to be right there and right there. Okay, so that's just going to line me up for putting my paper down. So I have these little tiny marks, and I put X's on them, but that one's not an X. And that's going to tell me where my paper goes so that I know that it'll be lined up. Now I'm going to use the green glue. Oh, that's a pretty piece. I'm going to use the green glue because I can adjust it a little bit at the beginning. If I used our Stampin' Seal or Stampin' Seal Plus, I wouldn't be able to move it once it's down. So I'm going to go there and find my other little one here. And I really shouldn't need the bottom ones, right? If these are on, these should be on perfectly. Yes. Okay. So this is 10 inches and your cardstock is 12 inches. So that should line you up perfectly for the frame. Okay, now the next thing I did is you have a packet of just wreaths, nothing else in there but wreaths. I should have probably punched out all of these little pieces before we got to this point, but you'll want to punch those out definitely, even though most of them probably won't show because just the edges are what's going to show. Let's see if I can line them up and punch them all out at once. At least 2 of them, right? I'm sorry, I should have done this before. But I do want to make a gift of this one, so I want to make it nice. So I am going to take the time to punch these out. And if you're doing it with me, that'll give you time to punch yours out as well. So sometimes all of this comes out when I die cut, and sometimes it just hangs in there like it's never going to leave. Okay, and then I have two more. Let's line those up. If you find two that look alike, if you line them up, the whole thing will line up perfectly all the rest of the way around. So punch those out. There's a dot here. And there's one here. There's a little triangle right there. And another triangle here. And here. Okay. Too bad I can't speed up what I'm doing. You know, like fast forward. Okay, we're done. Let's get those off my table. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to come along and I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive. I'm going to use my silicone mat here just so I don't get it all over. And I'm just going to put a little adhesive here and there on these. They'll stick pretty well, especially with this green glue. I'm just going to go through and you're going to be putting the poinsettias on over top of it, so it's not a big worry, okay, if you don't get a whole lot of adhesive on there. Just trying to get it to hold it in place while I work with it. Okay, so my first one is going to go right up here. I'm going to come down. You know what? Actually, I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start here. And I know that my deer is going to come over here and my trees, so I have to leave enough room for those. And I'm just going to come all the way down there doing that same thing. I'm just going to try to spot. These. And I don't care if they overlap. That's not a big deal. Up some of that glue that I had on there. I'd rather have it on the back than on the front. Now this one I'm going to come up here and catch the top. And I want to leave room for my bells. And I want to keep it on. Whoops. That didn't stick. That stuck to me instead of the paper. Okay. And then my fourth one, is going to just overlap these. So it's just to give a little greenery under the poinsettias. It doesn't matter if it overlaps. It's fine. That's how we want it. Okay. Next I'm going to come back and I'm going to attach my leaves to my poinsettias. I did not do that yet. So what I would do is just attach all my leaves. The front side, I'm going to put the glue dot on the front side. So I'm just going to, the longest end, the end that has the longest point, and I also want to make sure that my leaves are going upward and not downward. Okay. Upward, yep. Should be one more. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to attach the lighter leaves. I attached to the red. And the white. And I don't know why. That's just the way I did it. And so, okay, red and the white. And then the darker leaves went on the cherry cobbler. Oops, I lost my glue dot there. Okay, we're gonna forget him and move on. The cherry cobbler gets 2 of the darker ones. These things are peeling off. Okay. It's not wanting to stick to the leaf. There we go. I just didn't get enough pressure on it when I put it on there. And keep in mind that your poinsettias are going to overlap each other. Okay, so they're gonna start like that. They're gonna go like this. And you guys can stagger them. You'll do beautiful on this. I know you will. Okay, let's get a dot on this leaf. And it doesn't matter where you put those leaves. You just pick a spot and stick it on there. I usually try to pick the spot that looks like the barest on the edge. Okay. There we go. And I think I want it there. I don't know why. Okay, because you can turn your poinsettia and it'll be the way that you want it to be. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to put dimensionals on the backs of all of these. That'll do 2 things. It'll hold my leaves in place and it will give me what I need to attach it to the frame. So I'm just going to start with the top one. And I know that I'm going to go right in there. And then I'm going to go with my second one and just peel off my dimensional, tuck my leaves a little bit under here, and attach it. Whoops, what I don't want is my leaves. I'm going to tuck the petals underneath there, not the leaves. I don't want my leaves. I want my leaves to the side. Okay, this one I know I want my leaves to come down here in the corner. Whoops, leaves in the corner, Deb. Say it, but don't do it. Okay, and then this one is going to go right in here. So you can see I just kind of adjusted them as I went along. And just made them work. Okay, now the next one is going to be, let's put the deer in. So on the trees, whoops, my poor little trees here. My trees are full of stuff too. Now keep in mind, you can put shimmer or Wink of Stella on anything, on any of these. So if you decide you want your trees to have Wink of Stella, go for it. If you want to emboss them, if you want to sponge them, go for it. You know, it's your frame. Do what you want on it as well. So, I did not want my pine trees sticking way up off the ground. To me, I don't know why. They just looked like, they didn't look like Christmas trees when they were sticking way up. So I just trimmed off the stump. So now it looks like a Christmas tree. It looks like it's been cut, right? So I'm going to put my 2 trees and my deer. Now I'm a little crowded in here, so guys, keep in mind that, you know, I could have moved over a little bit more on this and brought this down in the corner more. But he's going to be fine. So I'm just going to use some green glue on this one. And where's my mat? So I just want to put some glue on that so it'll stick, because it's going to go flat. And that is going to go up a little higher. And not too high though, because I want room for my banner to hang. Okay, this one I used the teeny tiny dimensionals, the mini dimensionals on, and just stuck them where they would not show, hopefully. I think I even cut them in half. Whoops, I lost that one. Went flying. So I just need something to hold that up, because that one shows a little bit. I may take a Stampin' Blend and just color it in a little bit in there so that it doesn't show. Okay, and then you have a deer, which is cut from copper foil, and he's going to go on a dimensional in front of that tree. And he can go on a regular standard size dimensional. He can handle that. Love this deer. Love him so much that I lost him. So I had to buy a new set in order to do this project. Because somewhere, he's here somewhere, I'm sure. I think I'll put a mini dimensional under his head, just so it doesn't look like he's suspended in air. And just tuck that under there and pull it off. Maybe I'll pull it off. Got the whole dimensional instead of just the paper. Oh, come on, we don't want to bend him. Okay, so if you're going to put something on his neck, do it earlier. There we go. Okay. All right. The next thing is going to be, I think we'll do the wreath next. Okay, so the wreath, I've already done my little flowers and I just glued them together. You have some rhinestones, some colored rhinestones in there to add to the flowers. I'm once again going to punch out all my little pieces here, which you will need to do on yours as well. This is from Arrange a Wreath. I love this wreath. I've never been one to buy the wreath dies, but for some reason this year they have just really been one of my favorites, and I ended up buying them because I had to do them for a swap. I had signed up for a swap, and that was one of my projects, that one of the things I had to work with was the Arrange a Wreath die, and I just love them. You probably are seeing them all different places with me because they're just so pretty, and there's two different wreaths, and one is leaves and one is this little stem-like thing. Let's get those out of there. Okay, so I'm going to just turn these so that they're not lined up. I don't want them to line up, so they get mixed up. And I'm going to put the dark one in the front. Okay, so we'll start with the lighter one, and we're just going to put some glue on it. Get over here. This is the same wreath that I used for underneath the poinsettias, or poinsettias, whichever you want to call them. Oops. They do have a tendency to like me. Okay. There we go. Probably be better if I used the dotted adhesive. That might work a little better, guys, than the liquid glue. And then I'm just gonna, I kind of want to offset it, and I don't want it to line up perfect. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, and in that packet, you have a bow, which will need a dimensional. We'll need a glue dot. Lost my glue dots, there. And that's going to go right at the top. And then your flowers at the bottom. And those can go on with glue dots as well. Oh, that did not. These glue dots are not sticking for me for some reason. There. And I'm just going to come up a little bit here. Oh, they stuck to my piercer. And they may be getting old. Who knows? There, and then I'm just going to add my bling. And I'm going to put 3 of those in the center of these. And 3 in the center of the other one. And I did put Wink of Stella on those, just if you're wondering. Okay, now we have a big opening in the middle. And I changed this a little bit. And you're welcome to do it either way. I mean, it's your frame. You do what you want. But I thought this looks like a sign. So in this kit, you have, to me, what looks like a sign. And it says Christmas Blessings, and it's going to fit right in there. Yeah, so you're going to want to watch your wreath and everything when you do this. But it is going to go, it's going to be on dimensionals, so it will be raised up. And there are lots of little things in here as well. So just poke those out. Some of these did much better than the other ones. Actually, with the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, they do much better than they did before. Oh my gosh. Before it was just terrible. So the new machine really makes a difference in that. Okay, so I'm going to attach my Christmas blessings to you and yours. To the center of this. That's a nice thing about green glue. See, I can slide it a little bit. Okay, then what I want to do is I want to take these 2 pieces of cord and I want to tie a loop in the top. So I'm just going to tie, this is brave doing this on camera and not having done it already. This is crazy, actually. Okay, so I just want to tie a loop in the top here. So it looks like it's hanging. It's got a little loop. And then I'm going to take the 2 ends and I'm going to attach them to the back of here so that they look like they are tied. So what I need to do though is figure all this out, because this is going to hang from here. And so I'm going to put my bling right there. You have a nail, a gold nail, and I'm just going to hang that right there. That's my nail. Okay? Use your imagination. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. 1, 2, where's the top? Okay. This one, I'm going to put the string underneath the dimensional. 3. And that might be too long. Let's see. That's way too long, isn't it? That's way too long. Okay. Let's do this. Let's attach that. Let's pull this off. You guys are seeing me experiment. This is how I get myself in trouble. We're going to attach this, make it look like it is tied around there. Just like that. I put a glue dot. Okay, now we can stretch this out. because I have a feeling I'm going to have to trim it off a little. And if you choose to pass on this, hey, I totally get it. You know what, guys? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, so you have it. If you want to try it, go for it. I am just not going to do that. This is turning into a major mess. So, okay. So I'm just going to attach this with dimensionals. It was a cute idea, but it already looks like a sign hanging. It doesn't even need to show the cord that it's hanging it. And I'm going to just go right in the middle here. Just like that. I just want to make sure that it's straight. Okay. The last thing is the bells, and I should have done the bells before I put the paper on. Okay, let's see what we can do to make the bells look like they are hanging. So you have a piece of cord here, and I got an idea. You have the bells, and the bells, the holly berries have fallen out of, I'm sure, a lot of your bells and may not even be in your packets. So I'm just going to punch them out. That's what I did on mine. And I am going to put this through there. Pull this up. See, that's where it should have. I'm going to rearrange mine, guys, just because it's not going to work as well. Okay, so what I have an idea of, okay, I'm going to put a glue dot to put my two ends here on a glue dot all the way at the end. So if there's anything above the glue dot, it'll get cut off. And I'm going to put my second glue dot. No, I want a dimensional. So I want a small dimensional on my bell. So I'm going to attach this just like that. Whoops, let's come over a little bit. So like I said, I'm going to have to rearrange my bells. You know what? I can go up higher with this one, like I was going to. And that's interesting. And I'm going to trim off what's left. So I'm going to put my glue dot on my paper. So this is where he's going to hang. So I'm going to put the glue dot right there. And then I can decide where he's going to hang exactly. And I'm not sure what's going on with my cord here. I think I got it twisted around the wrong way or something. Okay. Let's try this again. I'm going to put my cord through and pull it up through there. Somehow it got twisted around under the... Okay. Now this one is going to hang right there. That's where my glue dot is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off anything above it. Right at the edge of the paper. That'll make it look like it's hanging. And actually that's probably better because the paper's not buckling over. And there. And you should have a bow to go in there. I'm going to shrink my bow down a little bit and trim off the tail. Wrong scissors. These are my new scissors from Stampin' Up. There's just a piece, they're just a pair of paper snips, but they have a cute little bobble on them, and that tells me that they are my ribbon scissors. Okay, there's one. Now I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I have the other half of my ribbon, my cord, And I'm going to, once again, and because all of my little things are on this one, I'm just going to leave them. If they were halfway gone, then I would punch them out. All right, so let's take this one. And this one's going to hang a little lower, which is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put a glue dot at the top of my paper there, where this one's going to hang. And it's just going to go like right in there. And then I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of here as soon as I find them. Okay, and then I'm just going to attach that to my glue dot and let it hang down a little lower. Okay, and trim that off right at the edge of the paper and attach my bow. And we are done. Oops, I bent my Christmas tree. We are completely done as soon as I put this bow on there. That one's going to go up there. Should have pulled it a little bit smaller, but that's okay. Okay, so that is it. We don't need a, boy, that's really a full, looks so much fuller here. All right, so that is it. All done, and I hope you guys had a great time doing it. I have to go because I have a feeling my phone is going to die. So thank you, ladies, very much for joining me in this, and watch for the next project.